My angels and devils and all who may wander here. This is Amanda Christina. This is Heavenly Imaginings. It is Spooktober, and I have a little story time from when I was catching the train to Sydney. Now, I was way early. I went and I usually get food and stuff, and I went to the news agency. Oh, I went and took some money out because I needed cash, and I went to the news agency, and they had a little thing of petty cash receipt book. Like, it was a little notepad. It wasn't a big one. It looks like it might have only been about a third of a pad, but it was 50 cents. I picked that up, picked some stuff up for the train, went to the bakery, got a banh mi, which is a Vietnamese pork roll, which I absolutely love. And I was going to get two, and then I saw this bag of three like little pizzas, and I asked how much they were, and she was like, "Oh, they're $3." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll just get that instead." Don't know why, just one of those moments where it's like, okay, this is what I feel like doing, so this is what I'm going to do. And then I went and waited for my train. Train came early, went and got on the train early because I had my big suitcase. And there was a woman on the train, and she was talking really loudly. And so I heard a lot of what she said, so I knew that, you know, her story was pretty real. And she and I were talking on the second train. So we're sitting in that centre bit on the Tangara. For anyone who doesn't know, like, there's an up, there's a down, there's a middle. I usually sit in the middle. It's just a bit easier than trying to drag a suitcase up and down. And she had trouble getting her pay from Centrelink, so she hadn't got paid. And I had eaten my roll for breakfast, and it was about 2 hours into the trip or something, and or an hour and a half or something more. And I was just really hungry because I'd skipped breakfast, so I sort of had banh mi was breakfast, and then, you know, I had 45 minutes to fill also between, so that was eaten before the train went off, and then about another hour and a half, 2 hours later, it's like, I'm just gonna have one of these little pizzas. I'm like, you know what, there's three here, do you want one? She took one. And as I started eating, I'm just like, you know what, I've got groceries that I've ordered coming to the hotel room, so do I really need to keep this? And I'm like, you know what, no. So I gave it to her, and she told me, and she was really grateful, like, because she, you know, otherwise she was going, she had to stop off, get some stuff, get back on the train to Sydney, like get on the next train to Sydney, then go from Sydney to Newcastle. And to do that without food is a lot of, like, it's no. And she was saying how one day she was in a similar position, and a woman gave her $50. And I said, well, I don't have that kind of money to give you, but I had extra food. I don't know what made me buy it. It was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? That just jumped out at me. And I don't know, because it wasn't really necessarily what I felt like. It was just something that just jumped out at me. So I'm assuming that, you know, one of my angels was like whispering, going, there's someone who needs it. And then the next day, as I'm walking to go to, I'm getting off the train to go to Mary and Pat's reception, I had to ask for help because I wasn't 100% sure where I was going. I get very antsy when I'm going somewhere new. And it was really silly because it was literally just walk down and around the corner, like literally from the station. It was so easy. But I just had that moment. And then I asked a couple, and they're like, you know, you're really lucky you asked us because this is not a great area. And I'm like, it used to be. I didn't say it, but, you know. So she rang her mum, and they just like double checked that I was going to the right place, which was very, very sweet. So that's a couple of little random acts of kindness that happened to me going to Sydney, going to the reception. The other ones are the two that got me there in the first place, which is my niece gifting me 2 nights accommodation in Sydney, which I can't even tell you how grateful I am for that, because without that, this wouldn't have happened. And another friend gifting me funds to help with expenses, and that pretty much all got eaten up, but and a little bit extra, but that's okay as long as I had the money to do things and to get there, and, you know, to be able to handle it. That's fine. I think some of the money also got eaten up with a little bit of takeaway when I was trying to get on top of the wedding stuff, because that had to get out. But yeah, I had so much help. I had a couple of people buy me pizza and stuff to help me get through the wedding stuff, so I didn't have to worry about preparing food, because it was a last minute dash, I tell you, but it looked beautiful. I have some photos on my Instagram. I'm sure when Mary and Pat get back from America, there will be a lot more photos coming up on their Instagrams. So check out Mary Amber, because she will probably have all the photos of all the pretty things I made. Anyway, so that's some random acts of kindness for Spooktober, and for getting me to the wedding, getting me and a couple of acts of an act of kindness there and an act of kindness I got to do. Anyway, I will talk to you all soon, my angels and devils. Make sure you practice random acts of kindness where you can. It doesn't have to be big. It can just be a very little small thing like paying someone a compliment, sending a little card. There are so many ways we can brighten someone's day. Anyway, I will talk to you all soon. Remember, as always, you are amazing. You are incredible. And yes, you down that camera, you in cyberspace, you truly, truly do matter. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!